Hello, welcome. Brianna Ruelas here, and congratulations. You are about to learn how you can book more gigs with the right pitch, even if you don't have a booking agent. This quick training is all about figuring out a way for you to book more gigs, but most importantly, avoiding the inbox of the venue that you're pitching for. So this comes really from my background, not only as a performing artist consultant for any artist. I work with artists every single week from all over the country who, of course, want to be gigging more, amongst other things in their business as they're strategizing and planning. And in addition to that, I'm also a restaurant owner. I own several different restaurants and I book several different venues in Dallas. So what happens is I receive a ton of requests every single week for artists who want to play at the venues that I book for. And what I've learned through this experience, not only for me consulting other artists and seeing what works and what doesn't work, but also seeing what works and doesn't work for artists who are pitching to me to play at my venues. So the 3 tips that I have for you to book more gigs, these are 3 pitching strategies, okay? So the very first pitching strategy is going to be for you to do your research. And I know that this sounds really simple, but ultimately you need to find out what type of venues your vibe, your artistry, your band, your solo act, whatever that might be, what type of venues are going to receive, acts like yours. Okay, for example, my venue, one of them, only receives like solo acoustic acts, like at the very minimum, maybe like 2 artists. And it's because our venue is tiny. Like there's nowhere to put a large band or even a 4-piece. So the most that we would accept would be a single artist or a duo. Now, I receive pitches every single week from full bands, and it might even be the lead singer pitching, and he's like, hey, I want to play your venue, and then he sends me like a link to a full band live video, which doesn't tell me anything about how he would respond to the environment at the venue that I have or the venue he's pitching for. So what happens? Unfortunately, that artist goes straight to the trash. Like, I don't have time to email him back and say, well, do you perform solo acoustic? Like, we're very busy. I receive a lot of requests. And honestly, it makes me feel like the artist just didn't do their research. So that is my number 1 advice for you as you're pitching. Do your research. Understand, does the venue accept singles, duos, trios, full band? What type of artists have they accepted before? Are they, is it like more of a hard rock, bar type vibe? Is it more of a coffee shop type vibe? Like whatever that might be, you need to understand the type of artists that have been there before and find out whether or not, you're comparable or similar to those artists in terms of your vibe or your style. The second pitching strategy that I have is to simplify your pitch. Please refrain from including like this long email, it's so much text. There's just not a lot going on. Keep it simple and keep it short. Okay, again, you have to make it easy for the venue to give you the yes, right? So you're going to think about including your, like 1 link, it could be 2 links, 1 link to a live video. And this is a really, really important step, but a good live video, one that I can hear and one that I can see and one that is appropriate for the venue. As I said earlier, I will get live videos of full bands, and I cannot book full bands at my venue. Do not send the venue if they can't, accept full bands. Like, send them a really solid acoustic solo video. Like, you have to be thinking about the assets that you're sending to the venue, right? So 1 good live video. This is how you simplify the pitch. 1 headshot picture, if you will, or a direct link to your EPK, your electronic press kit, direct to your website. So you can at least get them to your website. So You can also do a short bio. So that's really 3 things. I always, keep it really simple. Hello, make something really personal. Don't just say hello. Hello, see if you can get a name. If you can't get a name, hello is fine, but you have to create a personal connection. Either stop in, this is part of doing your research, either stop in, find the manager, meet the manager, talk to some people who have performed there. Hey, I talked to, Jackie, she was performing there last night, or the bartender, so-and-so, they said that, you do live music once a month or whatever it might be. And I'm really interested in performing at your venue, and make sure you name the venue, and then mention, why, what is in it for them to book you. Okay. Like, you have to be thinking of this as a partnership. What is in it for them? And you need to sell it. I know my music would be a great fit for your audience, and tell them why. I've noticed you've booked so-and-so before. I have a very similar vibe, or, whatever that might be. So you need to create a personal connection, a correlation to them that makes them understand like why you would be a good fit for their venue, but also what are you going to bring to the table? You're going to promote the event. Are you going to share it with your fans? What are you going to do? What's in it for them? So again, short and sweet. I'm talking about a couple of sentences. I do not want like 5 or 6 or 8 paragraphs of all this information of you. Like, I've booked here before, I've sang here. I don't really care. Like, send me a link that's going to give me all that information in one link, and then do a short and sweet, like 3-line, 3-sentence, pitch. Hello, John. I am a huge fan of your bar or restaurant or venue. My friend Kathy was performing there last week, and she killed it. And my music, is just like, it's very similar to hers, or, you have to figure out what that personal connection is. I'm just making stuff up. But ultimately, that is really, really important as you're simplifying your pitch. And that's the second tip. Okay. The third pitching strategy, my third tip, is to have a process of follow-up. So it's a follow-up system. Okay. And you're going to want to create a follow-up system for yourself where you track all of your correspondence. So you're going to create an Excel spreadsheet. I highly recommend doing something in the Drive so it can live in the cloud. And I'm a huge fan of systems. So when you create something in the Drive, as you scale, as you grow as an artist, as your team grows, others can do this step for you. You don't even have to do this step. You can literally have someone doing this for you to free up time to do other things. Okay, so systems. The name, the email, the date that you pitched it, the venue name, and then another column that's the follow-up. What date did you follow up? Is it a yes or a no? Any feedback, any comments, etc. So you're going to want to keep a running tab and create a really strong follow-up system, and also understand, okay, how many days are going to go by before you follow up. But following up is very, very important in the process of booking more gigs. Again, they could be very busy. Depending on the time of day that you submitted, you could have fallen behind in their queue on their email list. Like, maybe you sent the email at a really wonky time and they have 20 emails. Like, for example, on a Sunday you sent it, and Monday morning they've got 20 emails in their inbox or more, and they missed your email. So you'll definitely want to follow up by Wednesday. Hey, often sometimes my emails go to junk if you haven't had a chance to check it out. I'm super interested in your venue, or whatever you want to say. But again, short, simple, sweet, include the correct simplified details, the really strong live music link, a really concise but to the point small bio, and either a link to your website or a link to your EPK, which is going to be your headshot, your small bio, maybe some venues you played at, and again, maybe 2 more videos, right? It's all in one. It's like a one sheet. Okay, so those are my 3 pitching strategies. To recap, the first pitching strategy is to do your research. The second pitching strategy is to simplify the pitch, including the small details, but the very, very important details. And lastly, have a strong follow-up system. So many artists send one email, they get defeated because they don't get a response, and they never follow up. If there's anything you know about sales, and perhaps you do or don't, most people do not get the sale until the 5th conversation or the 6th conversation. I mean, it's like a long game, okay? And it's the same thing for you. You're selling, your services. You're selling your art, you're selling your music. Ultimately, it gives you an opportunity to market yourself, to get in front of people, to spread the message of your music, to make a greater music impact, and ultimately create a sustainable career for yourself, because you're bringing in revenue, because you're creating a loyal fan base, because you are engaged with your fans, all of these things. So those are my 3 pitching tips today. I hope you enjoyed them. And if you want to learn more about me, please visit me at briannaruelasmusic.com. Follow me on social media at Brianna Ruelas Music, BriannaRuelas. And hey, if you want to work with me, schedule your free breakthrough session. You can go to my website and click the link to do that today. I hope you have an awesome, awesome week. Take care.